find such difficulty in finding peace and tranquility in yourself? That's because you're looking for it away from the place in which you are. You are seeking it apart from the experience which you have at this moment. And you are regarding that experience and saying, that's pretty lousy, I'd like something better than that. But the trouble with that is that it splits you in two pieces. And once you're split in two pieces, you're lost. Because you've made a difference between the experience you are now having on the one hand and yourself who is having it on the other. And you wish you could get away from that experience. Now, the truth of the matter is you can't, because you are what you experience. Now, knowing changes. It changes itself. But if you try to stand outside it and change it, it'll be like standing outside your hand and trying to move your hand from outside. So is there then no need for man to seek for a meaning in his life? Not only his life, but the life of the universe. No, there is no need to seek for a meaning. Meaning, I use the word in rather a definite way. And for me, meaning is a function of signs, particularly of words and symbols. Meaning is the referent of words.
Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, champions. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. We are tapped in. We are ready. We are locked in. Excited for today. We are expecting and we are getting miracles flowing in to and through today. So let's go ahead and get into it. Rise and shine. We've got a great topic for today. We're going to be talking about 5 keys that end up disturbing most people's peace, so we can go ahead and avoid these issues and really go ahead and keep the vibration vibrating high. So before we go ahead and dive in, family, let's get a little bit of gratitude down below. What is everybody grateful for coming into today? Let me go ahead and go live on IG so we can get everybody tapped in. We're going to go ahead and get started. What's everybody grateful for coming into today? Serve your peace. Awesome. All right. Let's go. Grateful for God, grateful for the mind, for the body, for the spirit. So grateful for the dream team. Grateful to be able to wake up today and be able to take advantage. It is MLK Day, so this is a very historic day in history. So we're going to really take the time today to be present, take the time to really map out this rest of the week. And let's go ahead and get into it. So here we go, family. We're talking about the 5 keys that end up disturbing most people's peace, right? Ready to go ahead and smash the greatness. You already know. Let's get to it. All right. 5 keys that end up disturbing most people's peace. And you're going to notice as we go through these play a role in all of our lives, right? We've all experienced every one of these in one way, shape, or form. But to understand it and understand it, things are going to start to make sense. Okay. So the first one is going to be self-obsession is self-destruction. Okay. At the end of the day, gratitude is where all good things come from. So practicing gratitude, we're able to go ahead and get rid of fear and doubt, and negativity cannot exist. So the first thing is self-obsession is self-destruction. Right now, obviously we talk about it every day. We've got to take time for ourselves to fill up our cup before we can go ahead and fill up anybody else's cup, right? Well, that's true. But here's the way I want to give it to you guys today. Ready? Too many individuals are just focusing on themselves. They're focused on the fact that they can't figure it out. Right? We've all been there. At the beginning of my journey, I was literally the same way. With all these different skill sets, I felt overwhelmed and I just felt like, I don't know what it is. I can't figure this thing out. And here's what I noticed, right? I wasn't stuck at the end of the day. All the problem was this, right? It's true that what you start to focus on first, you're going to be able to allow yourself to get to the steps needed so you're able to grow. So my first step, I needed to lock in with the information, right? It's hard to take action when you're not confident about what it is that you're doing. So I needed to actually get serious and start really studying, start learning it so I could start understanding all the different aspects of it. And when I started learning what a PIP was, when I started learning, the M's and W's, and I could actually look at a naked chart and I could start to make it make sense. This is where trading started to get exciting, because I realized we're not just looking at these lines. It actually correlates when you start doing your research, when you actually start studying and plugging in. So here's the difference, right? When you focus on you'll only have enough for yourself. But when you start to focus on others, now you start to begin to really grow. Here's what I mean by that. When you start documenting your journey, right? When you start documenting you getting up early, you getting on these calls, you getting on your mentorship sessions, being able to learn from the charts, most people, they're not learning, they're not growing every day. So just you being able to document that, I promise you, you're going to have individuals that start coming out of the cracks and start asking you, what are you doing? What? I don't understand why are you always looking at the charts? What are you studying e-commerce for? Who are these mentors that you're learning from? And people start to come out, and here's the deal. You start to open up opportunities that you didn't even expect. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Kevin Trudeau, he talks about it all the time. We have what's called a radar, right? If you think about our vision right now, you can see straight, and we can see about 45 degrees to the side with our peripherals. But listen here, pay attention. That doesn't mean that things are not happening outside of our peripheral view, right? The world is happening. The universe is working outside of our peripherals. The same thing happens with life. The same thing happens with business. There's things that are working outside of your peripherals that you can't see. But I'm telling you, with the consistency, with the deep work, with showing up every day, with documenting your journey, there's things that are going to be working for you that you don't even know. You know, I'll give you an example. There's somebody that's been watching my page for 4 years. They ended up just joining the business. They didn't they didn't comment on anything, no posts. But they were watching. So that was things that was working off my radar, where if I wasn't intentionally, not just focused on myself, but focused on others as well, 1111 paint your vision, right? Focus on giving value, focus on showing up, focus on leading by example. This is the difference. I wasn't obsessed with just myself. I was thinking about, in fact, a lot of people else other than just myself to be able to show up every day. Feel me? There's a lot of days I didn't want to get on this call, right? I'm crying, I'm bawling my eyes out before I got on, but I understood if I'm only doing something for me, I'll only ever make enough impact just for me. But if we think about other people, if we think about being a person of service, the first sentence I write down every day when I wake up, family, is this: thank you, God, for waking me up today because I get to be of service. That's my first sentence that I write down every single day. If you don't believe me, let me show it to you. It's one thing to talk about it. It's a whole nother thing to be about it, right? This is how serious I am about service. Let's go ahead and go through it. Every day, tell me what the first sentence says. Every day. Boom. Like clockwork. You can see it. Every day is going to be the same first sentence. Flip to a random page. Thank you, God, for waking me up today so I can be of service. Right? That's how serious it is when you really start thinking about other people, when you really start stepping into the feeling, right? Even my brand new notebook. Same thing. Just open this one up. Look at the first thing that it starts with. Right? So this is big. When you can start to think about others, when you can start to understand that service to many truly leads to greatness, this is where the magic happens. So number one, self-obsession is self-destruction. Okay? Self-obsession is self-destruction. Yes, I want you to focus on yourself. Yes, I'd like for you to pour into your cup every day. But if we don't take time to pour out all this value that we have, you're missing. We're leaving so much on the table. So that's number one. Number two is going to be self-talk, right? Self-talk. Here's one of my favorite books. I don't know if you guys have ever had a chance to look at this, but here's self-talk. What to say when you talk to yourself. I don't know if you've ever read that book, but this is going to allow you to see how much negativity that we all have going up here every day, right? They talk about, most of us, we think the same 60% of thoughts every day, and 80% of them are negative. So if you think about that, how are we supposed to operate? How are we supposed to win living in a negative state of mind, living with negative self-talk all day? It's tough. It's hard to win. I don't know if I'm going to be able to impact anybody's lives. Nobody likes my voice. Nobody gets any value when I speak. Family, we're killing the game before we even step onto the field, right? The game's already lost before we even got on there. So I had to start getting in the state. You know what? Who do I become? The QLQs. This is big. Who do I become when I start stepping into the highest version? Who do I become when I'm an individual who can speak confidently about what it is that I'm thinking? Who do I become when I'm able to go out and lead by example because I've been able to do the deep work? Self-talk, okay? the powerful new techniques that anybody can start to learn how to reprogram are rewired thinking. There's no problem that I'll give you a couple examples to go ahead and start rewiring your self-talk. You ready? There is no problem that I cannot conquer. Every problem holds within itself the key to opportunity. Every time I see a problem, I know that I've got the key to find a solution. You want to be aware of what you're thinking, right? All of these little problems that we come across, there's two ways to look at it. Every single one of them. If you lose a trade, somebody quits your business, somebody doesn't believe in you, the one person that loses the trade gets all upset. They get all this negative self-talk. Oh, I can't learn how to trade. I don't know if I'm be able to master the skill set. And then you have person number two, the right self-talk. Wow, look at this lesson that I just learned. I'm so excited to get back in the market so I don't have to make that same mistake again. You see the difference? Somebody that does a presentation and they go out and they speak and they stutter and they think they did this terrible job. One person says, "Oh man, I'm never going to go up and speak again. I don't want to ever get out of my comfort shell. That was so embarrassing." But then you have the second person with the self-talk. Wow, what an incredible experience. I'm so excited I got a chance to do that, and I'm ready to go ahead and do it again so I can get better on what it is that I did last time. You see the difference? Self-talk is huge. And when you realize that we can use this for all different areas of our business, now you start to realize that most of the time, the problem was not externally. It had to do right here, inside of our own beliefs, right? Believing that you can actually achieve success trading, e-commerce, impacting lives, right? Whatever it may be. But this is big, self-talk. Number three, the third biggest thing for most individuals that steal their inner peace is going to be comparison. Right? You hear it a lot. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Well, it's true. There's no need to compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 9, right? Be confident about yourself. Be confident about stepping into these skill sets every day. Because I'm telling you, every day that we dive in, we're going to grow. We're going to get better. We're going to get 1% better than we were yesterday. Family, I was not great at speaking before. I was not somebody who could just get on a call on the fly and go ahead and speak value. I used to get so nervous speaking in front of events. I used to literally, my hands were shaking, my armpits were dripping. So these are things that we all go through, right? But I remember comparing myself at the beginning. I would see others get up and speak, and I would ask myself, well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to ever do that like them. Well, the fact of the matter is, nobody that you see is special. Everybody on there has a story. Everybody that you listen to has gone through crazy things in life. But what's the difference? They understood that the scars that we carry, right, are more powerful than the sword that actually made them. I'll say that again. The scars that we carry are more powerful than the sword that made them. So everything that we've already gone through and grown through is allowing us to go ahead and be this person that we are today. Your story has value. Your story has weight. Your story is relatable. So there's no reason to compare, because at the end of the day, somebody's probably going through something just like us, and we can be the one to go ahead and show them how to get through this point in life. This is why I've documented my whole journey on social media, so I could go back and I could show people there's no shortcut to success. Yes, there's quantum leaps. Yes, we can do the deep work. Yes, we can compress time frames. But at the end of the day, we can't run away from the deep work. That's something that's just something I have to be real raw and honest with you guys. Learning how to trade, building your e-commerce store, building your brand, all of these things, they take time. None of these things happen overnight. But if you're willing to be consistent, if you're willing to hold the vision and trust the process, I'm telling you, your success is inevitable. So live life focusing on your plate, and we don't need to keep counting other people's pockets. If God bless somebody else, the neighbor's coming to give our mail soon, right? So know that your mail is on the way. Number 4, perspective. Shane's got a whole t-shirt on this one. Perspective, right? I say it every day. Change the way we see things change, right? So sometimes we're just looking at something from the wrong angle. Sometimes we're just looking at something, and all we needed to do was just switch the angle, switch the way that we are looking at it for a second, right? I'll give you an example. I had somebody that was doing 3-way calls all throughout the week, and he's like, yo, I don't know what I'm missing. It just seems like there's a little gap right there. Well, here was the deal. He wasn't spending enough time being interested. He was spending a lot of time being interesting. So you know what happens? When we're the ones being interesting, guess what happens? You're not allowing the other side to actually open up and give us their problems. You see, family, we're like doctors, essentially, right? If we don't listen to somebody's problem, how can we give somebody the right solution? That's like me going to the doctor and the doctor just prescribing me medicine and he doesn't even know what's wrong yet. So I had to, it took me a long time, but this comes from How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? Be interested more than you are interesting. When you're allowed to be interested, you allow people to open up. You allow them to talk about their problems, what it is that they like, what it is that they desire, and now we're able to help them with the right way. You see, if I know somebody is looking for a stream of income, if I know somebody's sick and tired of working, if I know somebody's looking for another job, or they have a lot of debt, guess what? Now I know how to speak to them. Now I know how to speak to their pain points. People think off of logic, right? They justify off of logic, but they buy with emotion. So, family, if you haven't realized this, to really close individuals, to really get them at a deeper level, to have them realize that they need to make a change today, is being able to speak to them emotionally. We've got to be able to figure out what the problem is first, so we can give them a solution. You know, I have 2 kids. I work 60 hours a week. I don't have any time with them. Every day I go to work at 8. I come back home at 8 o'clock at night. I make dinner and I go to sleep, and I have no time to be able to see them grow up. So here's the deal. I know their problem now. I know how to speak to their solution. Let me ask you this. What would it feel like if you had more time to spend with your kids? How would that make you feel? What does your life look like when you have an extra 4 to 6 hours to be able to stay home and spend time with your children? Would that be something that excites you? Would that be something that interests you? Family, I'm not talking anything about the business. Nothing about trading, nothing about e-commerce, but I've been able to open them up, hear the problem, so now I can give them the solution. That's the power. That's key right there. Had nothing to do with the company, had nothing to do with the products, but I was able to find the problem and be able to give them a solution. That's what we're doing, family. This is not an opportunity anymore to me. This is a solution. I don't care what job that you're in. I don't care what vehicle that you have. This is something that anybody can apply into their life and see success. They can make full-time income part-time. That's the truth. You can come in here and make full-time income part-time, and eventually that part-time supersedes your full-time job, and now you can go ahead and live the life that you like. This is real. It's possible. I've seen it all day long. So just know if it can happen for others, it can absolutely happen for us, right? So let's go ahead and get into the last one, I believe, for today. Here we go. Or I'm sorry, I got one more for you. Per frequencies, right? Number 5 is going to be around frequencies that match yours. I heard this years ago, and I'll never forget it. He said, you're spending 3 hours with people that you should be spending 10 minutes with. And you're spending 10 minutes with somebody that you should be spending 3 hours with. Ooh. Man, did that hit me like a brick when I first heard that. I'll say that again. For most people, we're spending 3 hours with people we should be spending no more than 10 minutes with. And we're only spending 10 minutes with people that we should be spending 3 hours, right? Drop a 2 down below if you can relate. If you've been there at all before, right? Definitely, without a doubt. So I had to really start looking at myself and analyzing, where's my time being spent? Where are my conversations being held at? And for a long time, I was spending that time was wrong. I was spending not enough time with my mentor. I was spending too much time with individuals that didn't allow me to grow. So this is why they say 33% rule, right? You guys have heard this one. 33% of my time and your time is powerful to be spent with a mentor. So we're always learning. We're always pouring back into our cup, right? So that's a nugget that I never forgot throughout these couple of years. But to go ahead and end it off, right? The law of association is key. Hanging around individuals that are constantly going to be able to pour into us. Getting around individuals that have a pure intention, right? Intention is everything. Being able to get on every call with intention, being able to get on every Zoom with intention, being able to get on and ask questions with intention is huge, okay? So last thing I'm going to go ahead and leave off with this. The 5 things. Number 1, self-obsession is self-destruction. Number 2, the power of self-talk. Number 3, comparison is the thief of all joy. And 4, perspective, right? Being able to change the way we see things. And last but not least, is going to be around frequencies that match yours, right? Get around frequencies that match yours, that fire you up, that inspire you on a daily basis. Family, every day I wake up, I'm inspired. This is part of how I have the juice to go ahead and move and make moves every day. I see others that are winning. We see others that are crushing their trading accounts. We see others getting ka-chings in their e-commerce store. That should motivate you. That should inspire you to show you that if others are winning, it's here for us too. The only thing is just getting in the right frequency to go ahead and align to go ahead and start making these things manifest. So family, with that being said, that's my training for everybody today. Hope you got a little bit of value. If you did, drop some threes down below, smash that like button, and we've got a ton of value coming in for the week. Happy MLK Day, sending love and blessings to you and your family. Go out, get some self-care, take some time to get some nature, take some time to get a workout, take some time to get some content for yourself to go ahead and build up and make a phenomenal impact throughout the week. So family, with that being said, it is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, or have anything that you can hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. Let's have a phenomenal week. Go out and be great. I love you, family. Let's go out and make it happen. You already know it's game time. Let's get to work.